Feel free to paint the picture of like your background in
Sure,
the industry,
sure.
how you got started, and how things have developed to where you are now.
So by far and large, most people I talk to, they're like, "Oh, I worked for myself, I worked for a company for 5 years, and then I worked for myself, just a single truck and single pole for eight more years, and then I finally started to branch out." Like that's the story you'll generally hear in my experience. So I feel like when I talk about like my short time in the industry, I think a lot of people are like, "Oh man, you don't know what you're doing." It's a little it's a little frustrating, but at any rate, I'm digressing. So I came out here to California from Oklahoma, and I had nothing lined up. So I was like literally at the airport applying for jobs, like on my way out here. I had nothing out here. And then this guy, he's like, "Hey, what's your experience?" And I had some construction experience. So he's like, "Oh, awesome. You'll fit in great. Do you have a truck?" And I absolutely lied to him and I said, "Yes, I have a truck." And I got out there, and like the first day I was like, "I actually don't have a truck." So he's like the coolest guy, like super understanding, coolest guy ever. He goes, "You know what? No problem." And we get through the first day, and he's like, "Look, I really need you to have a truck." And so this is the truth. Like he would call you and tell you the same thing. He pulls out like 5 grand in cash. He goes into his house after we got back to his house, comes back out, and he hands it to me. This is the first day I'd ever met him, and he goes, "Go buy a truck, and then I'll keep training you for the next 2 weeks, and then you'll be on your own." And so that's exactly what happened. I went and found an F-150, and he trained me for the next couple of weeks. I worked for him for 9 months. And although he was a fantastic person, I didn't necessarily love the way that he ran his business. Like, I just thought there was so much left on the table. A lot of things really bothered me. He was fantastic with me, like just a fantastic guy to work for. But as far, can you still hear me? I got to
Yeah.
make sure it didn't cut out the audio. Okay. So as far as like just customers coming and speaking to me about how he approached them with issues, about how things got taken care of, about how communication transpired. I was like, I think I could probably do better. And so I just went to him and was like, "Hey, can we come up with a deal to buy you out? Can I buy you out?" And so we came up with a plan. He gave me like 56 accounts, and it was a 5-year buyout period. And I paid him off in 2 years, and then he got completely out of the business. And then I grew from there. So I grew from 56 to like 120, and then hired a couple people. And then for whatever reason, he had actually gotten back into it. And then he grew his company again. And the same exact thing happened. I went right back to him and I was like, "Hey, let me do this again." And I convinced him to then sell it to me again, and I bought another 100 accounts from him, which put me to basically where I am now. And then I gained 40, lost some through natural attrition, but that's basically what happened is bought from him, grew it myself, bought from him again, grew it more. And now he lives in a totally other state, and I'm still out here.
Okay. Wow. So you hear some guys who maybe buy a route to start, other people who maybe do like pay per click ads or something like this. It sounds like
Yeah.
your background was a little non traditional compared to that. It sounds like you did buy a route, but it was from your employer.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And it's you think it's common, but what usually happens is like they'll hire like a company will hire a technician. This happens all the time. They'll hire the technician, they'll say, "Oh, in a few years we're gonna let you buy your route, we're gonna let you take it over." And almost always like the pool company is usually like, "We changed our mind. We don't want to do that. You can either go do it on your own, but you have to sign a non-compete or something like that." And it just never works out that way. But, you know,
And so when you did buy, I think it was something like 56 pools.